अथ मुण्डकोपनिषद् आवेशान्निहितं गुहाचरन्नाम महत्पदमत्रैतत्समर्पितम् एजत् प्राणन्निमिष च ददेतज्जानत सदसत् वरेण्यं परं विज्ञानाद्यद्वरिष्ठं प्रजानाम् यदर्चितमद्यदनुभ्यो च यस्मिन् लोकानिहिता लोकिनिश्च तदेतदक्षरम् ब्रह्म स प्राणस्तदुवाङ्मनः तदेतत् सत्यम् तदमृतम् तत् वेदव्यं सौम्यविधिम् धनुर्गृहीतोपनिषदम् महास्रंशरम् शुपासानिशितम् सन्धयितम् आयम्य तद्भावगतेन चेतसा लक्ष्यम् तदेवाक्षरम् सौम्यविद्धिम् प्रणवो धनुः शरो यात्मा ब्रह्मता लक्ष्यमुच्यते अप्रमत्तेन वेदव्यम् शरवत् तन्मयो भवेत् यस्मिन् द्यौः पृथिवी चान्तरिक्षमूतं मनसः प्राणैः च सर्वैः तमेवैकं जानथ आत्मानमन्यावाचो विमुञ्चथामृतस्येष सेतुम् अरा इव रथनाभौ संहता यत्र नाड्यः स एषोऽन्तश्चरते बहुधा जायमानः ॐ इत्येवं ध्यायथ आत्मानं स्वस्तिवः पाराय तमस परस्तात् यः सर्वज्ञः सर्वविद्याशेषमहिमा भुवि दिव्ये ब्रह्मपुरे ह्येषभ्योऽन्यात्मा प्रतिष्ठितः मनोमयः प्राणशरीरनेता प्रतिष्ठितोऽर्णे हृदयं सन्निधाय तद्विज्ञानानेन परिपश्यन्ति धीरा आनन्दरूपममृतं यत् विभाति विद्यते हृदय ग्रन्थि छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरीम् हिरण्मये परे कोशे विरजन् ब्रह्म निष्कळम् तत्शुभ्रं ज्योतिषां ज्योति तद्यदात्मविदो विदुः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नैव विद्युतो भान्ति कुतूयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ब्रह्मैवेदममृतं पुरस्ताद् ब्रह्म पश्चाद् ब्रह्म दक्षिणतश्चोत्तरेण अधश्चोर्ध्वं च प्रसृतं ब्रह्मैवेदं विश्वमिदं वरिष्ठम् इति द्वितीयमुण्डके द्वितीयः खण्डः इति द्वितीयमुण्डकं समाप्तम्। शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Now let us discuss about the meaning of the mantras chanted from second Mundaka. Bright, near moving in the cave of the heart is the great being, the support of all. In him is centered all that moves, breathes, and wings. Know this as what is all that has form and all that is formless, which is to be adored by all, which is beyond the reach of man's knowledge and the highest of all. That which is brilliant, smaller than the small, that on which all the worlds are founded, and their inhabitants, is this immortal Brahman. That is the prana, speech and mind, that is true and immortal, that is to be targeted. Strike it, O gentle youth. Having taken the bow supplied by the Upanishads, the great weapon, and fixed in it the arrow sharpened by incessant meditation, and having drawn it with the mind fixed on the Brahman, strike, O gentle youth, that mark the immortal Brahman. Pranava or Omkara is the bow, the Atman is the arrow, and Brahman is called its aim. It is to be hit by a man who is self-collected with concentration, and then as the arrow becomes one with the target, he will become one with the Brahman. In him the heaven, the earth, the sky, the mind, with the pranas or senses are centered. Know him alone as the Atman of all, and leave off all other speech. This is the bridge to immortality. He moves about, becoming manifold within the heart where the nerves meet. Like spokes fastened to the nave of a wheel, meditate on Om as the Self. Hail to you that you may go to the other side beyond darkness. This Atman, who is omniscient, who knows everything in detail, whose glory is manifested in the world, is placed in the ether in the bright city of Brahman. He is the nature of the mind and becomes the guide of life and the body. He subsists in food, in close proximity to the heart. The wise behold with the aid of the superior knowledge the Atman which shines forth full of bliss and is immortal. The knot of the heart is broken, all doubts are solved, and all his karmas perish when he who is both high and low is beheld. The fruit of knowledge of Brahman is described in this verse. When one attains self-realization, only the Sanchita and Agami are destroyed. Prarabdha still remains. It must be worked out, enjoyed. It must be exhausted by actual enjoyment in the present life. On account of Prarabdha only, this body continues to exist even after the attainment of knowledge of the Atman. The body will fall only when the Prarabdha is completely exhausted. The potter stops rotating the wheel, but the wheel still continues to revolve on account of the momentum of the previous force given by the potter. Even so, the body of the sage continues to function on account of the force of Prarabdha, which has already begun to operate. You cannot withdraw the arrow that has already been discharged. It must work out. Even so is this Prarabdha. When Brahman is realized directly as I am He, one attains liberation. Ignorance, the cause of samsara, being destroyed. In the innermost golden seat, there is the Brahman without stains and without parts. That is pure, that is light of light. That is what the knowers of the Atman realize. The knowers of Atman who know the self as the witness of the three states of consciousness, that is, waking, dreaming and deep sleep, know and realize this Brahman who is stainless, indivisible, pure, who is the light of all lights and who dwells in the luminous seeds of intelligence. Those persons whose minds are impure, whose vision is of an objective nature, cannot realize or know this Brahman. The sun doesn't shine there, nor do the moon and the stars, nor these lightnings, and much less this fire. When he shines, everything shines after him. By his light, all this is illumined. The sun illumines the whole universe with the light of the Atman. Just as water exposed to the sun or the fire borrows its heat from the sun or the fire, so also the sun, the moon, etc. borrow their light from Brahman. They have not the inherent capacity to illuminate. That which is not light itself cannot illumine others. The pots are not endowed with luminosity, so they cannot illumine others. The sun and the rest have light, and so they illumine the objects of this universe. As Brahman illumines the sun and the rest, and as it is not in need of any other extraneous light for its illumination, the self-luminous nature of Brahman is inferred. The intellect who borrows its light from Brahman only, through the light of Brahman only you attain knowledge of any object. The light of Brahman only reveals the object. There cannot be memory, remembrance, recognition and knowing without the light of Brahman. That immortal Brahman is before, that Brahman is behind, to the right and to the left, below and above, all pervading. Brahman alone is all this. It is the highest. Brahman was taught to be meditated upon as in the heart and the golden seed, Hiranyamaya Kosha. But lest one should mistake that Brahman is thus limited in these two places only, this mantra declares that he is everywhere, though the heart is selected as the best place for the purpose of meditation. All perception except Brahman is mere ignorance, just as the perception of a snake in a rope. Shrutis emphatically declare that the one Brahman alone is really true. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.